Sanskrit. Made easy. Constants. We have just studied the vowels, which are produced when air flows smoothly through the mouth. Now we will study the consonants, which are produced by interrupting the airflow. We can interrupt the airflow in one of three ways. Stopping it entirely. Redirecting it, through the nose. Suppressing it, without stopping it entirely. To refer to a particular consonant, we put the vowel after it. This combination of consonant and vowel creates some simple and intuitive names, which we use when talking about the letters. For example, the K and B sounds are called
ka
and
ba.
in Sanskrit. Compare these simple names to the complex ones, K and B, that we use in English. Stops and nasals. Consonants that are produced by stopping the airflow are fittingly called stops or stop consonants. When pronouncing a stop consonant, the airflow stops within the mouth, and no air exits through the nose. Once the air is stopped, it is quickly released. This release produces a sound. An example of a stop is the letter K. Here, the air stops at the back of the mouth before continuing. The stop is related to the nasal, which is produced by stopping the airflow and redirecting it through the nose. An example of a nasal is the letter M. Here, the air stops at the lips and goes through the nose instead. For both stops and nasals, we must know where to stop the airflow. For instance, K requires that we stop the air at the back of the mouth, and M requires that we stop the air at the lips. The spot where the airflow is stopped has many names, but I will just call it the point of pronunciation. There are 5 points of pronunciation in Sanskrit. The soft palate. The soft palate is the fleshy region at the very back of the mouth. The hard palate. The hard palate is the bony region at the top of the mouth. The area behind the hard bump on the roof of the mouth. This bump sits behind the teeth. The base of the teeth. The lips. You can see that the list above starts at the back of the mouth and moves to the front. This is how the stops and nasals are ordered, too. Now let's learn some of the stops and nasals. Remember that we're proceeding from the back of the mouth to the front. The vowels, too, are arranged according to their point of pronunciation. Is said to be pronounced at the soft palate, at the hard palate, and at the lips. Is not where we would expect. Perhaps this is because has a slightly odd pronunciation. Soft palate consonants. To produce these sounds, we stop the air at the soft palate. To stop the air, we use the base of the tongue.
Ka nga.
Hard palate consonants. To produce these consonants, we stop the air at the hard palate. To stop the air, we use the middle of the tongue. None of these sounds appear in English.
Cha nya.
Retroflex consonants. Terms like soft palate consonants and hard palate consonants are short and easy to understand, but behind the bone bump on the roof of the mouth consonants is long and hard to read. These consonants are called by many names, but it's easiest to call them retroflex consonants. This term shows that the tongue bends, flex, backward, retro. To produce the retroflex consonants, we stop the air behind the bony bump on the roof of the mouth. To stop the air, we use the tip of the tongue. Again, none of these sounds appear in English.
Ta na.
Tooth consonants. To produce these consonants, we stop the air at the base of the top row of teeth. To stop the air, we use the tip of the tongue.
Ta na.
These English sounds are not the same as their Sanskrit counterparts, although the difference is quite subtle. The consonants above use a point of pronunciation that sits at the base of the teeth, and it is not found in English. The closest English match places the point of pronunciation more forward, near the edge of the teeth. Lip consonants. To produce these consonants, we stop the air with the lips. We don't use the tongue at all.
pa, ma,
Voice and aspiration. To review, there are 5 points of pronunciation in Sanskrit. The soft palate. The soft palate is the fleshy region at the very back of the mouth. The hard palate. The hard palate is the bony region on the top of the mouth. The area behind the hard bump on the roof of the mouth. This bump sits behind the teeth. The base of the teeth. The lips. For each point of pronunciation, we have 4 stops and 1 nasal. But for each of the points of pronunciation above, we only learned 1 stop consonant. How could these other 3 stop consonants be produced? To start, we could consider whether the consonant is voiced or unvoiced. The letter B is voiced, but the letter P is not. The distinction between voiced and unvoiced consonants is a real and present part of English, and Sanskrit makes the same distinction. Thus,
thumb,
and
dam,
are separate words, just like pale and bale in English. But Sanskrit does make a distinction that English does not. In Sanskrit, it matters whether a consonant is aspirated or unaspirated. Aspirated consonants are breathy and followed by an extra puff of air. Compare the G in log to the G in log house. Native and near-native speakers of English can hear this distinction by comparing the P in spit, which is identical to the unaspirated Sanskrit sound,
pa,
to the P in pit, which is identical to the aspirated Sanskrit sound.
pa,
If an English speaker exchanges these 2 sounds, he can still be understood, but the same is not always true in Sanskrit. For each of the 5 points of pronunciation, we have 4 stops and 1 nasal. This gives us a total of 25 stops and nasals. Soft palate consonants.
ka, kha, ga, gha, nga,
Notice the order of terms here. The first 2 are unvoiced, and the rest are voiced, the second and fourth are aspirated, and the rest are unaspirated, and the last consonant is a nasal. If you are having trouble understanding the pattern, the table below might clear things up.
Hard palate consonants.
cha, cha, ja, ja, nya,
Retroflex consonants.
ta, ta, da, dha, na,
Tooth consonants.
ta, tha, da, dha, na,
Lip consonants.
pa, pa, ba, bha, ma,
Other consonants. Now we will study the last 8 consonants. These consonants use the same points of pronunciation as the stops and nasals from the previous lesson. Semivowels. The consonants in this group are halfway between vowels and consonants. For that reason, they are called the semivowels, where semi means half. Like the vowels, the semivowels are voiced and unaspirated. Also, they are produced by continuous airflow out of the mouth. However, we produce these sounds by suppressing the flow of air at the point of pronunciation.
ya, ra, la, va,
Each of the semivowels has a different point of pronunciation.
ya,
Uses the hard palate.
ra,
Is a retroflex consonant, and
la,
uses the teeth.
va,
Is a bit different, it mainly uses the lips, but it also requires the use of the teeth.
va,
Is halfway between the English v and the English wa. the S sounds. The consonants in this group are all varieties of the hissing sound that you hear in words like Sanskrit and Sherpa. For simplicity's sake, let's just call these the S sounds. Just like the semivowels, the S sounds in this group are produced by suppressing the flow of air at the point of pronunciation. But, these sounds are not like the semivowels, as you can hear below.
Sha, sha, sa.
The S sounds are unvoiced. Each has a different point of pronunciation.
Sha,
Uses the hard palate.
sha,
Is a retroflex consonant, and
sa,
uses the teeth,
sha,
and
sha,
have no English equivalents.
ha, ha.
This sound is a voiced H sound, and it is very easy to produce. If you breathe out and make your breath voiced, you'll hear something like hara. That H is the same as
Ha, ha,
is the same breathy sound that you hear after the voiced aspirated consonants.
ka, ja, dha, dha, bha, ha.
Is said to be pronounced at the soft palate. A sound like
Bha,
is not just
ba,
plus.
ha,
It is its own sound, and it should not be confused with
ha,
on its own. So, if some rule says
ha,
acts in this way, then the rule does not apply to
bha,
or any other voiced and aspirated consonant. This is a subtle distinction that IAST makes quite confusing. A handy term. As we move forward in our study of Sanskrit, we'll need some way to talk about specific groups of sounds. This is because Sanskrit sounds often change in very particular ways. If we use the right terms, it will be much easier to describe these changes. With that in mind, let me introduce the Sanskrit word
warga,
which means division or category. This word is used to describe the consonant groups that we've just finished studying, the soft palate consonants, the semivowels, the S sounds, and so on. To refer to one of these sets, we take the first consonant from the set and put it in front of the word.
warga,
Since it's so simple to just put a letter in front of the word,
warga,
you don't need to know 7 separate terms, you can just use different letters, as you can see below.
warga, kavarga, chavarg, tavarga, tavaga, pavarga, yavarga, savarga, anuswara and visarga.
Here, we will end our study of Sanskrit pronunciation by studying 2 more sounds. These 2 sounds are not vowels, but they are not quite consonants either. Additionally, these 2 sounds can appear only after vowels. For that reason, each of these sounds is featured with the vowel.
a,
Anuswara,
um.
This sound is called the
anuswara,
after sound. It is a pure nasal sound that only appears in front of consonants.
visarga,
Aha,
In Sanskrit, this sound is called the
visarga,
sending forth. It is commonly pronounced as a shorter and softer version of vowel before it. Combinations. Certain combinations of sounds aren't pronounced as you might expect. This short lesson discusses some of the combinations that often confuse new students of Sanskrit. Once you finish this lesson, your Sanskrit pronunciation will be quite good. Not all Sanskrit speakers pronounce these combinations this way.
nya, nha, nha,
The full alphabet.
a, e, I, u, r, e, I, o, aha, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, cha, cha, ja, jha, nya, ta, tha, da, dha, na, ta, tha, da, dha, na, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma, ya, ra, la, va, sha, sha, sa, ha.
Reading.
From Bhagavad Gita.
अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः अर्जुनविषादयोगः धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामका पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय सञ्जय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकम् व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसङ्गम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत् पश्येतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमहतीं च मूम् व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता अत्र शूरा महेश्वासा भीमार्जुनसमायुधि युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः दृष्टकेतुश्च कीतानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित् कुन्तिभोजश्च शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्त उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथाः अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये तान्निबोधस्त्विजोत्तमा नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं तां ब्रवीमि ते भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सोमदत्तिस्तथैव च अन्ये च बहवः शूरा मदर्ते त्यक्तजीविताः नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितम् पर्याप्तं त्विदमेतेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम् अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागमवस्थिताः भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि तस्य सञ्जनयन् हर्षम् कुरु वृद्धः पितामहः सिंहनादं विनद्यौचैः शङ्खं दग्मो प्रतापवान् ततः शङ्काश्च भैर्यश्च पणवानकगोमुखाः सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त सशब्दस्तु मूलोऽभवत् ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यो शङ्खो प्रदद्मतुः।
ॐ